Ladies and gentlemen, it's Christmas time and New Year's right around the corner. Our first UFC fight of 2025 is with me today. Fatima Kline, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Great. I guess before I ask you the important stuff, the hat, Santa, Christmas, what we got going on? What are the holiday plans?
uh yeah, just spending a lot of time with my family this year. Not much I can actually do, but tonight I'll be going to see some Christmas lights. Like this house on upstate New York has like the biggest Christmas lights, so they say like the biggest decorations and everything. So we'll see how it goes. I'm always like fascinated by the lights, so that'll be fun.
I got a little bit up, but I don't nothing like that. No one's driving to see my lights. But like, can you eat at all during Christmas? Like, does that kind of suck?
Yeah, it kind of sucks, but I my weight's been coming off so good that I'm just like, it's so not worth like chancing. You know what I mean? So I'm happy eating what I'm eating. I'm eating a good amount. I feel good, so it's no problem.
And you fight what? You're the first fight of the year, so I mean, it's not like you can celebrate shortly after. It's not like you gotta
Yeah,
wait like two
yeah.
months, you know?
Right, right. It's not like I'm fighting February that I have to be out like December, January, and then you have to wait till February. My mom already like promised me that she'll make me some new stuff, so I'm good. I'm good.
And you are the first fight of the year as of now. Like that's the bout
Yeah,
order.
yeah.
How does like
Seems
are you
like it.
excited for that to set the pace?
Yeah, yeah. I'm excited. I'm super excited that I'm this early on into next year. It sucks not eating during the holidays, but like I wanted to fight like at kind of where I am. I was thinking they were gonna book me for March and they offered January, and I was like, even better. I plan on fighting if God willing that I come out not hurt at least 3 times next year. I get like early January, summer, and then end of the year.
Yeah.
I think that would be awesome for me. So that's what I'm planning. So I think the time frame is literally perfect right now. So I'm excited. I love being able to kick off the new year with my Strawweight debut. And yeah, being first on the card, I plan on starting out with a banger. So
And your debut in the UFC was interesting because it was short notice, technically a weight class up. So like you're coming off a loss, but are you more considering this like the real debut? Like how are you viewing this fight?
yeah, I definitely see this as like my debut, being in my own weight class, having time to prepare. I felt like my last fight, my real debut was just like, what can I do? You know what I
Sure.
mean? I mean, 10 days notice, out in Colorado, up a weight class, ranked opponent. It's a big ask, and I'm that person that I've never declined a fight in the 7 pro fights that I have. I never declined anyone, and I definitely was going to decline UFC debut. And I just feel like, man, if I could do that on 10 days notice in Colorado, what could I do on 8 weeks in Las Vegas? So I'm super stoked that I took the fight. I feel like I did really well, and this time now they gave me time to prepare, and they treated me really well through it all.
And does anything change in camp like with your first career loss or no, just a reset, business as usual with the full camp?
Yeah, I think it was more of like a recess. I think we definitely took away some goods from that. I was doing a lot of boxing heavy and a lot of wrestling. Unfortunately, the boxing worked, but the wrestling didn't. But that's okay. It was 10 days notice, and it
Sure.
was elevation was killing me out there. But yeah, I think I saw a lot of good in that fight. I feel like I proved to myself that I could go out there on that short of notice and do that good and almost put somebody away. So it just gave me that much more confidence that if I could do that in that time, man, if I have the time that I deserve, then I can really put on a show.
And this is a repetitive question I always ask because you two are interlinked just with the fans, but the fans love to hear about it. And with both of you guys training, like Erin Blanchfield,
Hmm.
she is now, I mean, she has been, but especially now with the huge win over Rose, right on the cusp. So, like, with her being, next up essentially, like, how has that elevated your guys' camp and training together?
Yeah, it's awesome. I feel like every camp I help her out with, I feel like I learned something new. I feel like it's a big help for me to see what my future holds as well. Just being in the corner and being able to kind of see what she goes through throughout the week, even like everything else besides fighting, just like media diet and what's kind of asked of you. It's like it's a lot, and so I'm so happy I've been able to learn in so many different ways. And just our training since like the first time we started training together, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. It's like from then to now, like it's kind of crazy to see how far we've both come and how much we just grew as just fighters itself, you know. And so yeah, I'm super excited, you know, being able to train with somebody as good as she is, you know, third in the world. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? If Victoria Dudakova is not third in the world, she's not beating me, you know. So
And you're not Erin, so I'm not asking you to speak for her, but
mhm.
just being with her, like, it's just at a weird point, like at a standstill. Like, what is she just waiting for Fiorot and Valentina to fight, essentially? Like, what the picture of flyweight's very interesting.
Yeah, yeah. After Alexa kind of posted that she's kind of out for the count a little bit,
Yeah.
it's like kind of puts her at I feel so bad, but it's the game. It's like she's gotten on the couch and then something happens, and she's on the couch and something happens, you know. But that's the way life works, you know. And I think it just gives her time to prepare even more for it. You know, you can never complain about having too much time to prepare. So I personally think that Shevchenko and Manon is going to fight, and she'll be a backup fighter, and hopefully somebody drops out and Erin can pop it in, or
Or
if
get the
anything,
winner
just
shortly
or
after.
just get the winner. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Either way, I feel like she deserves it. I feel like, I mean, how many times can one prove themselves? You know, but she keeps on doing it, and hey, you know, can't be mad about defeating two people that were like previous champions. So
Yeah, not at all. And my last question about the past, specifically the loss, just and I don't even have this written down. I'm just thinking about it. You know, like inside the life of a fighter, like I guess how did you take your first loss? Like, was it something
mm.
that you really harped on? Like, did it really get you for a while? Like, did Aaron have advice? Just tell me about it a little bit.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I took it pretty hard at first because you know, the UFC called. I was super excited. I thought I could win that fight. I was confident going in, even on 10 days notice that I was gonna be able to win. You know, and that's just a fighter's mindset. You feel
Mhm.
like you're invincible, you know? And you know, I've been dreaming about you being in the UFC since I was like 10 years old. And then now I'm here and I lose, and I was just like, oh, like that I kind of blew out my candle a little bit. But when I sat back and I looked at it again, and I had people from the UFC and the matchmakers like privately messaging me, telling me how good I did, and so if I could get the matchmakers texting me that I did good,
Right.
I think I did something right, you know. And so that was a big confidence booster, and being able to talk to my coaches and talking to Erin, because she lost, you know, she lost
Yep.
a big main event, so we kind of were both came off of losses. And it's like, oh, it means a lot. You know what I mean? It hurts, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you go back and you double down now. You know, so that's what I plan on doing.
And the script is flipped a little bit because against Dudakova, I don't know if you look at this or care about this, but you're like a minus 800 favorite, which is
Oh
huge.
my god.
Matchmakers are loving you here. So tell me your thoughts on this fight going in.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I was wondering when the odds were gonna come out. I haven't seen them, but I don't know. It's like when you
Big
hear
fave.
that, it's almost like hard not to laugh, you know. In a humble way, I'm used to being the favorite, you know. I know my last fight on 10 days notice, I was still the favorite, I think leading up to it. And I was just like, how, like, man, these people really believe in me, you know, which is
Yeah.
which is great. I love it. I feel like my resume shows that I'm supposed to be the favorite. You know, I don't think I'm just a minus 800 favorite because, you know, oh, she's a right, you know. I feel like I proved that I'm supposed to be that big of a favorite. And I know for the people around me, I'm sure they wish that it was a little closer. That way they can
Yeah, right.
make some money. But maybe we'll see. But I never pay attention too much to those things. But I know my skill, and I believe I should be the favorite. You know, I plan on going out there as if she's the favorite, as if she's the best in the world, and I plan on taking her out that way. You know, so yeah, it's super funny though. Minus 800. I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
been like that big of a favorite.
I
But
I don't know. Cage Fury, you got up there a couple
was
times.
I? Oh
Yeah, oh
my
yeah,
god!
yeah, yeah.
It's every
You've
time
been like
someone tells me,
1200 before. It's yeah, yeah.
holy cow,
Regional
it's
scene's
so
different though.
crazy.
Regional scene you'll get like
Yeah, yeah.
18,000. It's like it's just how?
That's
It's
like
one punch. That's crazy.
crazy. That's so crazy. That's funny though.
But talk to me the story writing itself for this one too, because like you're both two undefeated fighters coming off your first loss. So a
Yeah.
lot on the line for each of you. How do you feel about Dudakova?
Yeah, you know, I feel like we're so perfectly matched. Like you said, we're both coming off of our first losses, you know. Um, I think she's good. I think she's well rounded. We're the same age, basically like same build, very, very similar in a lot of different ways. Um, yeah, I like what I see that she brings to the table. I like the boxing. She's got good wrestling. I think she lacks jujitsu and kickboxing, so I plan on exploiting that. But as you can tell, my last fight, I'm not afraid to stand up and fight. So I'm kind of looking for wherever the fight takes me, wherever the fight takes me. I plan on finishing for sure. I've been saying that my last couple fights haven't found a finish yet, but with 8 weeks notice, and this will be the first camp that I've had 8 weeks for. The longest I think my other camps were only 6. So I'm really excited that I've had a lot of time to prepare, a lot of mental preparation, and a lot of practice, just looking for a finish and looking for a dominant way to win.
I've seen that's been the emphasis. Like I think it was you and
Mm.
James Lynch. Maybe you've been saying you're
Oh yeah, yeah.
very focused on the finish this time.
Hmm.
Is that more of a personal thing or more of like a you feel you need that for your career type of thing?
I think it's more of a personal thing. I feel like I was on a rant. Like my first 3 fights as a pro, I had 3 finishes back to back to back, and then I started fighting in Colorado for like 2 or 3 fights, and I couldn't find the finish, and I was kind of like, what's going on, Like I want to be a finisher. I want to be one of those that has like a high finish rate, just for myself. We're fighting, and even when I did jujitsu, I feel like I didn't you win, but I feel like I really didn't dominate unless I like finish somebody, I tap somebody out. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's just a me thing that I want to finish the fight. I don't want it to go in the hands of the judges. Judges are so left and right, and it's always just a scary thing whether you're like so confident you won or not.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's more of a me thing. I feel like I proved how good I am. I just need to prove like that I'm here not to just be good, not to just win. I'm here to dominate the division.
And just reiterating, strawweight, that's the
Mm.
plan, right? You feel great.
Yes, yes. Yeah, I feel so good. There's like a huge difference, I felt like I was doing so well on the regional scene, and then I fought in the UFC, and I obviously fought up my weight class, and I was like, ooh, this is
And you
not
didn't
meant
have
for
like
me.
time to prepare either. You couldn't like
Yeah,
bulk up
yeah.
proper, you know?
Yeah, I wish I had more time. I feel like I would have bulked up properly, because I do get pretty heavy in between, so I feel like I would have had more juice in me.
Mhm.
But man, I just feel so fast, and I just feel even bigger for strawweight. I'm like, I guess would be like average or smaller for flyweight, but for strawweight, I just feel really big, and so yeah, I'm finally glad to be in my weight class and to feel my wrestling people my own size now. um yeah, that's I can't wait for that. I can't wait to feel somebody my weight in there.
And the headliner of your card, Mackenzie Dern, Amanda Hebus, those are two girls that are in your division up top. You very well may fight them. Like, do you have your
Hmm.
eyes on this fight, and who do you maybe think's going to edge it out?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna be watching that. I feel like they could be somewhere around my window of fighting within like a year and a half. Let's say things go well this year. Um, Mackenzie Dern won the first time, right? Um, I think I would probably call for Mackenzie Dern to win again. Just the fact that they're rematching again kind of shows that there's no new blood in the division. So I'm kind of, in a way, I'm happy to see that they're rematching, because I feel like that's a good way for me to just kind of scope out what's in my future. But I plan on sneaking in there real soon to kind of stir things up, stir up the pot.
Well, that's a real. You said a year and a half. It's not like you said in a couple weeks. Like, that's a realistic time frame.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, I feel like it's realistic. So I'm like, I'll definitely be watching it, for sure.
and if, in the meantime, I mean, obviously, all eyes are on Victoria right now. But is there anybody else that you want to fight maybe next year or soon at least?
I don't really have anybody in mind. I definitely plan on winning this fight, and then kind of seeing what gets thrown at me.
Hmm.
I don't plan on rushing my way to the top, but I definitely don't plan on kind of taking my time and sitting around. I want to be active, and I want to get in there. I definitely hopefully can plan on hopping into top 15 as soon as possible, but no names really come to mind yet. I'm sure when they throw me some, I'm sure I'll be excited to
Oh
see
hell
who it
yeah!
is.
And maybe not a name, but you said three next year. There are rumors and just rumors right now that UFC could be coming back towards Newark in like June. You said summer.
Oh,
Could that
June.
be a
Okay.
possibility?
Yeah, that could definitely be a possibility. I feel like because I'm fighting so early in January that
Exactly.
like I'm pretty active. Like I take the week off afterwards and I have fun and I'm good at taking time to recover if need be. Um and luckily so far I've never gotten seriously hurt from being in the cage, you know. So yeah, I mean June, July, that would be perfect. Hopefully maybe I can get on MSG in September, October, November.
Hmm.
We'll see when they kind of put that card out there. But regardless, as long as I'm not hurt, man, I want to fight 3 times next year. You know, that would be really ideal for me. I love fighting. It's fun for me, you know. It's my job, but I love what I do. You know, I hate having this much time off. I was hoping to fight, you know, like kind of like now, you
Right.
know, but I think it was God's will that I fight in January.
It's solid goals for next year. I'm super excited, obviously, as a friend and a fan, to watch it all go down. And one last question that I'm really only asking, I don't know, maybe you out of everyone I interviewed, just because I'm curious. End of the year, I have a lot of problems. Fans, fighters, we all have a lot of problems with, I'm not UFC, but just MMA. It's a sport. We all want to perfect it. It's hard to do that. If there's one thing you could fix about your sport next year, what would it be?
Oh, what could I fix? Um, Honestly, coming from someone who fought with open scoring being a thing, that I would probably push for open scoring. You know,
Hmm.
I fought for Invicta that did open scoring and I fought for them like 4 times, you know. And being somebody that, you know, a couple tough fights where I didn't know if I won the round or not, just sitting in the corner and knowing like, oh, you won that round just gave me that much more confidence to win the next couple of next two or whatever, however many rounds I had left. I think so many people think that it'll tend to for people to like kind of slack off when they're winning. But in a sense, it's like, well, if you're losing, you're gonna like double down, which kind of forces the winner at the time to kind of double down as well, you know. So I think open scoring would be fun. I think it would diminish any like, oh that was a bad judging, that was bad scoring because now you know. I feel like it's scary more and more. You see like these bad calls and it's just
It's
like
horrible.
it's horrible. It's so unfair. It's just and there's nothing you can do about it. You know, at least when you know you're winning, you know you're losing, you could make a change to do more
Even if they're
or to
robbing
finish.
you, like, in the meantime, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. You know, in the meantime, you get in robbed. You know, like, oh, I'm gonna have to finish
I have
them.
to do it. Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean,
So that's what I
that's,
would do.
judging is my answer too. It's absurd that this is not even an exaggeration. One or two fights every single week, there's controversy.
So bad.
You
It's so
can't have
sad to
that.
hear.
Can you
Yeah.
imagine, like, in the NFL, if they got the scorecards wrong once or twice a week and they're like, well, it's whatever.
Oh my God.
It's,
People
uh,
would go berserk.
it's nuts. But Fatima, thank you so much for your time. Before I get you out of here, anything you'd like to say to all your fans?
Yeah, I just want to say, I always want to thank God for kind of paving the way for me and my family for always supporting me, my coaches for always coaching me and for thinking of things that I don't necessarily think of or see. And then all my training partners, I feel like it's tough through the holiday season to find people to train with and you know, with dieting and all that. So I really appreciate everybody that's been helping me out.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, after the holidays, opening up the year, setting the tone for UFC 2025, Fatima Kline, January 11th. Fatima, thank you so much. As always, kick ass and have a great holiday.
Thank you. You too.